Welcome to this week's Fun Activities in 5, where we take an activity or something you can do in your classroom. We remind you or we show you how to use it in 5 minutes or less. This week, we are going to be talking about a community building activity that I experienced in a professional development session from Will Adams, who is a Chinese teacher here in Denver. We've been great friends for a while, and I have got to see him teach, and I got to see him give PD, and he did this activity in his PD. I since have done it in my classes, and they loved it, and I loved it. I am going to call it same and different. He didn't really give a name for it in the activity. So, Will, if you're watching this, tell me what you would call this activity. I'm going to call it same and different. So, what you're going to do is you're going to put students in your classroom in a group. We did it in groups of 3 in the professional development session. In my classroom, I did it in groups of 4 or 3, depending on how many students were in the class and what I felt like they could handle. Once students are in their groups, you're going to give them task number 1. Task number 1 is for that group to come up with 3 things that all, however many of them are in that group, have in common. So if there are 4 people, then every person in that group needs to have 4 things in common. And you might think, oh, that's really easy. Like they can start with like, oh, we all go to this school. We all have this class together. No. So you can make anything off limits that you want. I made anything off limits that had to do with our school, the city that we lived in, or being from Colorado, because that's where my students live. By eliminating those couple of choices, it makes students have to think a little bit more. It takes away those freebies. So no, oh, we all have Profe Jackson for Spanish. We all go to this high school. We all live. No, make it difficult for them. Take away the easy answers. So I took away my easy answers. Then students are going to share out, and they're going to have one person in that group who's going to share out. I did this in the target language with the questioning that I did for students, but I let students do this activity in English. If you have upper level students, you could have them do it in Spanish. I tried to have my 3s do it in Spanish. It was really just kind of a frustrating experience. But they basically are Spanish too. Anyway, do it in the target language if you want to. So you're going to go around, you're going to say, what are the 3 things that you have in common? They're going to tell them to you one at a time. Maybe it's we all have an iPhone. Awesome. Who else in this class has an iPhone? Oh, it looks like almost everybody, all but 1, all but 2 have an iPhone. And you're going to start doing what you would do with PQA and comparing and contrasting these statements. What's your second one? Oh, we all eat pizza for lunch on Fridays. Awesome. Who else? I love pizza. Does anyone else love pizza? And you're basically just making connections in your classroom with those things that students have in common, that they are similar for. Once you have really milked that and gotten as much out of it as you're going to get out of it, it's time for task number 2. For task number 2, you're going to do the opposite. So within their group, you're going to be asking students to find 3 things about themselves that is unique or different from everyone else in their group. I added on the challenge of one of your 3 things should be what you think no one else in this classroom can say about themselves. And you're going to go back through and you're going to do the same process. What is unique about Courtney? Oh, this. Oh, does anybody else do this thing that Courtney just said is unique about her? Oh, Susie also does it. Look at that. Courtney and Susie, you can connect over this activity that you have in common. What else? Oh, this is the other thing that's unique about Courtney. Great. Does anybody else do this? Nobody else does this? Awesome. Let's take a moment and celebrate that Courtney is super unique in this one activity she does that nobody else does. It's a way to make students feel special. It's a way for you to learn about things that your students might not normally tell you, and to make connections that students might not ever make in the classroom, because a lot of these things are going to have to do with outside of the classroom. Great way to build community and engagement and trust within your students. And it can be done in the target language if you would like for it to be. Thank you so much for joining me this week. I hope to see you next time and hear how you are doing this activity in your classroom with your students.